I love Mike Hansen Archives.
Okay, folks, we are back. My name is Mike Hansen, and I'm running for Travis County Constable in Precinct 4. Be sure to get out and vote March 9th, 2004. And I have a treat for you today. Ralph Epperson. He has been fighting the New World Order and has wrote a lot of books. Can you tell the people of Travis County, Texas? Have you ever been to Austin, first of all?
No, I don't think so. Never to Austin. Not that I've ever remembered, no.
Well, tell us who Ralph Epperson is, and what books have you wrote?
Okay, well, thank you very much. Ralph Epperson is a writer and historian, lecturer. I've been researching the conspiratorial view of history since 1963 when I started. I've written 3 books. I've got 2 of them with me today. The third.
Show us. What do we have here?
This is called The Unseen Hand. It's a book about the conspiratorial view of history. It's called Introduction to it. This will show you there's been an actual conspiracy at work in America for over 200 years. This is the documented proof, the 500-page book, but there's 600 or 1,000 footnotes to show you where I got it from. This is not my idea. It's the idea of those that I'm quoting. Then I wrote my second book called The New World Order. This book is an attempt to explain what it is and what the purpose of it is. Why is it on the back of our dollar bill? Back in 1782, this was designed into our nation by our founding fathers, and now we are fulfilling that. I mean, they're bringing it to us whether we like it or not. So the point is, I'm trying to make it known as to why these things are happening in this country, and that was the purpose of my second book.
What do you have any names that people would recognize who's behind this so-called conspiracy to take our liberty away and also to take our wealth away? I think that you talk a lot about the Federal Reserve.
That's correct. Let me go back. Yes, we do know. In fact, today during this seminar, I'm going to play an audio tape of Bill Clinton the night he gave his Democratic acceptance speech at the Democratic National Convention in 1992. Bill Clinton is going to verbalize with his own mouth and admit there is a conspiracy at work in the United States. Bill Clinton said it with his own mouth. He confirmed for 40 years of my research with about 3 sentences during his speech. If you say you don't believe that, I'm inviting you to find out. Get in touch with me. I'll show you the clip. I've got it.
Do you have an email or a website people can get a hold of you?
Yeah. If you want it, my website is, if you want to go to a Google and type in Ralph Epperson or one of the search engines, Ralph Epperson with 2 P's, RALPHEPPERSON. Type that in. The very first site that comes up is called Ralph Epperson's Conspiracy History. That's me. I'm the first site on Google. So you can find that way if you wish to find me. Secondly, if you want to write to me, it's Epperson, EPPERSON, RA, Epperson Raw, at AOL.com. AOL.com. And that's me. If you want to find me, I have an 800 number. Call me, 800-422-3888. Call me. I answer the phone. We'll talk.
Okay, well, let me ask you this. You were talking about Bill Clinton. Don't you think that Bush and that family's just as dangerous as Bill Clinton?
One of the things that Bill Clinton admitted when he said there was a conspiracy, he admitted that they control, this conspiracy controls both parties equally. That means we have no choice. It's like a wrestling match. The wrestling match is predetermined in advance who's going to win. So when he comes to our city, the guy with the blonde hair is the bad guy and the guy with the black hair is the good guy. Then they go to Phoenix or another city and they reverse the roles. It doesn't matter. The whole thing was predetermined. Just like Bush and Reagan, Carter, Nixon, you name it. All of these men, and Bill Clinton admitted this with his own mouth, are controlled by the same conspiracy. No question about it.
Well, I did it. Are you familiar with David Icke? I did an interview with David Icke, and he said that all these presidents, they come from the same bloodline. Do you believe in that?
Let's say it this way. I have heard that there is a bloodline with many of our presidents that you can actually trace through genealogical records. That might be true. I don't really care. It doesn't matter to me. Yeah. Because people like Ronald Reagan were not in the bloodline, but he was our president. So it doesn't matter to me. David Icke makes the claim that these people are related to some sort of reptilian race that came from some planet. That to me, and please understand this, since I'm in your area now, I am an honorary citizen of Missouri.
Okay. I'm from Texas, though.
Honorary citizen of Missouri. We're in Missouri now. I think we are.
Yeah, we are. We're coming to you live from Kansas City, Missouri. Can you believe that, folks?
So I'm saying this, and I urge all of your listeners to do this as well. From now on, I want all of you to become an honorary citizen of Missouri. Why? Missourians have the claim that they are the show-me state. I'm saying to you now, I'm saying to David Icke, I'll use him as an example. David Icke, if you're making a claim that Queen Elizabeth is a reptilian that can change from a human into a lizard in front of your very eyes, show us. If you can't show us, I don't have time to read it or study it. Study those things that you can prove. That's why I wrote my books. The evidence that I'm right is overwhelming. It's in their own literature.
Stick with the facts.
Thank you.
But when I did my interview with him, he his people said, well, you're going to give us 10 minutes, but he ended up giving me an hour. He didn't mention anything about the reptilian race. He stuck with the facts, so I was proud of that. And I agree with you. We need to give the people the facts and let them make their own minds up what they're going to do.
That's right. And that's been my whole life's research for 40-some years. I document. I will not make statements that I cannot prove. I can prove. I'm going to show it today. I'm going to play an audio cassette of Bill Clinton admitting there is an international network, he called it, at work in this country. I didn't say that. Bill Clinton said it himself.
Is that the same thing as the New World Order?
The New World Order is on the back of our dollar bill. It was committed, our nation was committed to the New World Order by the Founding Fathers in 1782 when they designed the Great Seal of the United States. In fact, I'll invite your listeners, maybe you already discussed this, flip the dollar bill over on its back and look at those two circles. And then ask yourself, how many of those symbols do you know about? Do you understand? And I'm saying this. I started discussing this in 1985 on a nationwide speaking tour, and I could not find anyone in this country that understood what those symbols meant. Now people do, because I started the questioning back in 1985. Now the question is, why do we not know what these symbols mean? And I'm saying because they contain our future. Our future is the New World Order. What's that? Now I'm going to make it very simple. The New World Order is, we believe in the Old World Order, which holds these things as true. The New World Order reverses everything. We believe in God, no God. We believe in family, no family. We believe in religion, no religion. We believe in private property, no private property. You think it's impossible? Read the documented evidence that's true. I'm not making this up. This is what they want to do. They're going to abolish private property? Exactly. They're going to abolish the family? Exactly. They're going to abolish religion? Exactly. That's what it is. You say it's impossible? Read their own words. That's what I did.
The timetable here, it seemed like they're moving up the timetable pretty quick. Do you have any thoughts about how long do we have before we see a total change in America? We've already, in your lifetime, I'm sure, I know in my lifetime, have seen a lot. Have you? What is your thought for the future?
Let me say this. I wrote this book in 1989. It was published in 1990. Now understand, 1990 is 10 years before the year 2000. And I started preaching watch the year 2000 in 1985. That's 15 years in advance. I expected the New World Order to start on the 1st of January, the year 2000. In fact, it's all through here, all the evidence. When it didn't happen, I added a provision on the very first page that this did not happen. However, that does not mean that my research was incorrect. I didn't make a prediction. I based it on what they were saying themselves.
Maybe people like you and Alex Jones and John Statmiller, all these people, put them behind schedule. Have you ever thought about that? And all the other millions of people that are fighting this.
That's exactly what I believe. I can't prove that,
yeah.
But conversely, those who don't believe that I did it can't prove that I didn't. Yeah. So I'm saying this. Something changed their plans. The plan for the year January the 1st, 2000 was set in concrete. It's all the way through their evidence, and it didn't happen. Why? I cannot explain that. I can only say this. It didn't happen, and I believe it was because of your point that not only me but others started revealing the truth about it way in advance. By the way, this book came out before George Bush mentioned the phrase. This book came out in 1990, within months before George Bush talked about it in 1990.
And this one here, this is a very famous book. I've heard about this. When did this one come out?
1985. I published that in 1985. That book is still selling. It's selling word of mouth only. Every major bookstore in the country can get one. They might not have one because the book's 17, 18 years old. But you can ask them to order it. If you want to read the book, buy it that way, but get the book and read it, because there's something going on in this country, and this will show you what it is.
Well, let me ask you this, Ralph. Is this available in the library where people can read it for free?
You'd have to check your own individual library. Once again, the book is now 18 years old. I talked to my local library that had copies. They don't have them anymore because they decided it wasn't being read enough, I guess, so they took it off. So if you can't find the library, ask them to buy one for you. Get one for you.
And once again, give us your website and where people can get a hold of you on the internet.
If you wish to get in touch with me, anyone wants to write to me, I'm on the internet. Just simply Epperson, Epperson, and then R-A, Epperson Raw, at AOL.com. If you're on AOL yourself personally, I'm Epperson Raw. Look me up. Let's talk. I talk all day long.
Well, I want to thank you for your service, and I'm running for Travis County Constable. I think, here's what my feelings is, we have to start locally. We can't start with Bush and all these people. We have to start locally to protect people's rights and individual liberty, and that's what I plan to do in Travis County.
Praise God. Wish you success. In fact, if you want me to, I'll register in your county and vote for you. Okay? Oh, no, I didn't say that. No.
You didn't hear that, Dana. The county clerk didn't hear that. We're just kidding.
Quick story?
Yeah.
A little boy comes up to his father and says, Daddy, Grandpa, how come he didn't come see us? This is in Chicago. He said, what do you mean, son? Grandpa's been dead for 25 years. He said, no, he came back to vote last weekend.
Well, sometime I think that they had that happen in Texas. The LBJ had some dead people voting for him.
One of the first books I read was A Texan Looks at Lyndon, famous book by who? I can't remember his name now. That book, Everett Haley, something like that, was a very famous book that exposed the fraud of Lyndon Johnson. But we elected him anyway. Why? Why would we do that? Because we don't know. That's the major problem in this country. We don't know. And I'm saying we're destroying ourselves. It's all preordained. It's going to happen whether you like it or not. The point is that hopefully we can prevent it like we did in the year 2000. And if we can do it again, maybe we'll succeed. Keep postponing it, and maybe it'll never happen.
Well, I agree with you, and I would still encourage people to get out and vote for Mike Hansen for Travis County Constable, and we'll be back with some more people. Thank you so much, Ralph. We'll see you. And how's this thing in Kansas City going?
Oh, very well. I'm very pleased. Good turnout, a lot of response, interested people. These people care about their country, and that's why they're here. I would urge your listeners, please start figuring this out. If we don't do anything, I'm telling you, like Alex said at the very beginning, we are in very serious trouble. In fact, we are in serious trouble, but it's going to get a lot worse until we knowingly stop it. I'm not saying violence. I've never said violence. I'm not saying revolution. I'm saying education. That's the only answer. Educate yourself.
We want to restore what this country was all about, because they're the ones breaking it down, not us.
That's correct. Thank you very much.
Hey, God bless you. We'll see you next time. We'll see you right back here, folks. Tell us who you are, first of all.
Do I have to look in the camera?
Yeah, right there.
My name is Johnny Santulli, and I am with KCXL 1140 AM.
Right here in Kansas City. We're coming to you live from Kansas City. This is going to show in Austin, Texas.
Very good.
Okay, tell us what's going on here with the speakers you brought down. And, we drove up here in the middle of tornadoes. You had us driving up here in the middle. We had to stop in Perry, Oklahoma. There was like 100 tornadoes following us.
But aren't there tornadoes in Texas?
Not right now. We didn't have any, but we do have tornadoes. But, I mean, I've never seen anything like this.
Well, we just got hit by tornadoes last week. It was very close to the station. You can see William Jewell College from the station, and we were very worried about the tower, but it did not get hit. So we were very thankful. But the college got hit. Luckily, the kids that were there didn't know to go downstairs, and they didn't get hit. So.
Well, here's what I was going to ask you. Good thing it didn't. The truth is really beaming out. What's the name of the radio station here in Kansas City if somebody just happens to be passing through from Austin, Texas, Travis County area, coming this way?
If you want to catch information in the Kansas City area, go to kcxl.com or 1140 AM if you're driving through. Like if you're a truck driver or a business person and you're traveling through, 1140 AM. We carry Alex Jones, and we love Alex Jones, and a lot of people are really listening to him, and he's very competitive up here. A lot more people that are tuning into him are telling their friends, and especially since 911, I think before 911 people were like, this guy is crazy. Now that 911 has happened, I think people are saying this guy might not be as off as we previously thought, and he is getting very popular in this area.
Well, he's been on Access TV in Austin, Texas for a long time, and So, I mean, I'm glad that he's expanding his radio shows. What's he on, about 100 radio stations now?
Gosh, I thought he was on more. But I think what helps is that his videos are documented, and when he presents his shows, he presents it with the information that he has documented, so he's done the research, so it's not like this is just my opinion like so many other of the political talk shows.
And you can see these videos right here on either 10 or 16 for free. Right here on channel 10 or 16, we play them over and over on these channels here.
Excellent. Also, if you're in the Kansas City area, we sell them at the KCXL bookstore.
But I have to cut that out because I told you we can't talk about selling things.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
That's all right. I edit.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a non-commercial station.
Okay. If you come through.
No, hold on a second. Hold on a second. I'll fix it for you. Well, also, y'all have a information store here that when you go through Kansas City, you can get some free information when you go through Kansas City. Where is that located in Kansas City?
We've found that a lot of people that listen to this type of station and to this type of information, they always want to talk about it, and they want to talk about their political views. So we opened up a KCXL bookstore, which is at 151 East Lexington, and a lot of people bring in free information that they want to share with others, like currently there's a big fluoride issue. Yeah. And we were able to fight it in Independence, Missouri, where the bookstore is, and it didn't get passed. And there was a lot of money involved. So we thought for sure it was going to get passed, but a lot of people that didn't want fluoride in their water stood up, fought, and it did not get passed.
And tell us why fluoride's bad. You know, San Antonio is one of the biggest cities that did not have fluoride in their water, just passed it. San Antonio, Texas, yes, they did. And Austin's had it for a long time. But tell the people of Austin, while they're drinking their fluoride water, why it's bad for you.
Fluoride, to my understanding, is very bad because it's a sedative. In fact, it was used in Nazi Germany to sedate people before they went into concentration camps. It is used to sedate bulls. I think that's still used currently, if I'm correct. And why do we want to put something in our children, in ourselves, that's going to sedate us? I'm against anything in the water. Now, I'm consider myself a health nut. I like taking vitamin C, but I don't want it in the water.
Well, you look good. And I certainly, we don't want to drink diet soda waters with aspartame in it because that is very bad, too.
Now, I see your Dr. Pepper over there. My own view is I would rather have a little bit of Dr. Pepper or a little bit of Coke than diet anything, but I do try to drink water.
Yeah.
But I do not like the diet stuff. I'd rather drink less and stay away from, of course, all carbonated sodas. But the fluoride, definitely. In fact, I found in People magazine, which I would say it's a very run-of-the-mill, not political either way, a warning saying that if your child ingests the toothpaste, to please bring them to the doctor's office immediately. So they're coming out with more and more studies that is linking fluoride even with cancer. The National Cancer Society has come up with that information. Not us, not radio stations, not talk shows, but the Cancer Society. So if they're linking it with cancer, you know, why even put it in the water? Leave it out. And if you want fluoride, go buy it. You can buy it. Also, I didn't know if you knew this, but there is a ton of fluoride in like Wheaties, in food. So they don't even know how much fluoride that you're getting in your system with the food that you eat, which I did not know Wheaties had fluoride, but there is a lot of fluoride in Wheaties. Did you know this?
No, I did not.
93, Clinton gave speeches about it, and here we are, an internal checkpoint, and they fund it through this toll. So that's the new America, and here we are at the internal checkpoint, about 20 miles inside Kansas, in southern Kansas, coming out of Oklahoma. It's all part of the freedom. Mike will be able to shoot video outside the window, coming up to the slave grid, and there's a K-tag scanner right there. See it? Yeah. There's a K-tag scanner right there, Mike. Up. This is a ticket system.
You're in the wrong one?
I don't have K-tag.
Oh, no.
Oh, the ticket. So I guess you're saying, they built more internal checkpoints for us. See, in 96, I told the lady, or 97, I told the lady on this road, She says, I love K-Tag. And I said, you love K-Tag, you're going to lose your job.
She did.
And she did. And so now they only have to have a certain polling place, toll place, where we'll cash this in, I guess. So, yeah, you love K-Tag. Oh, you love the self-checkout lanes. The cashiers say they get to check themselves out. And they say it takes their load off. Yeah, until they take out all the checkout lanes, which is the plan. You guys, they're building a giant prison. I'm talking about the grocery stores, how it all interconnects. Oh, we're in deep trouble. The whole cashless society, what it does, how it makes people lose their jobs. That's what I'm getting at. One of my weird roundabout ways. So here it is. We warned them in 97, 6 years ago. Did we not, Mason?
Yes.
Did we not, Mike?
Yeah.
We warned you. No more job. I'm like, where's the person? There's a little, did you get the little radio scanner?
Yeah.
Little K-Tag scanner? I don't have a K-Tag, so I had to get a ticket. And soon, they've already made it in areas of Northern California, San Francisco. You've got to have the transponder in your car, even if you don't use the tollways. And the radio readers do scan you as you go around town, but it's all about freedom, fighting Al-Qaeda. Because it was all put in before CIA attacked us. So, they close lots of lanes, they squeeze us down, and it's just a wonderful new system. It'll be all over the country. To get into cities, you'll have to pay tolls. Why do I keep saying tolls? To get into cities, you'll have to pay tolls. And there'll be a satellite tracker box in your car taxing you. It's fun. The Southern Terminal. And for no reason, they shut the road down to one lane when they can easily have two or three. It's all part of freedom. And then we... Ooh. I think the coffee amount a few drops in it. We'll find out what's going on. Out the side window. As you can see, this is a contained highway. The state police have got a checkpoint center back there when you first come into the toll system. This is federally controlled, getting you ready for internal checkpoints. As I warned you, because I read the federal plan. Now they're getting rid of the employees, it's going to computerized systems. Then it becomes the law that you have to have the transponder in your vehicle. As I warned the toll booth attendant back in 1997, 6 years ago. How did I know? Not a crystal ball, I read the federal plan. Welcome to Nazi Germany. And I guess if we're even able to travel up here 6 years from now, in 2009, you will have men in black uniforms ralphing through your car, shoving your wife around, and you'll thank them because there would have been lots more Al-Qaeda attacks. We all know they're the boss now to keep us safe. Where's that ticket? Totally separated the entire time on the main artery that runs south to north, I-35, which is part of the NAFTA corridor. Our border's wide open. But you're under control in the heartland, baby. They're producing cows. Welcome to the new America, man. Welcome to the Welcome to the new America. We're pulling into the service terminal, and to have a gas station, you've got to be inside the government terminal, and everyone submits. And of course, not many people have jobs because we've been laying off the. Oh, and you better park properly here. Of course, it's the government. There's never proper parking. There's lots of people groveling and submitting, though, to roads that have been paid for 50 times over.
Okay.
Now, for 20 years, they've had weigh stations for the trucks, but that's to keep them from damaging the roads. Government hates to have to give out private contracts and rebuild them. It's totally made up. But they've already set up these giant checkpoints for the trucks where they have to pull through and get harassed, and they search the vehicles, and we've passed a bunch of those. And so that's already an internal checkpoint for them. But now it's for the general public, and it's being installed. Internal checkpoints, and Colin Powell said it, Clinton said it, they're setting it up, they're doing it. So again, remember, I warned you. I warned you, America, and it's all part of this automation, whether it's checkout lanes in the grocery stores that are self-checkout, and the checkers love it, it helps them out. No, they're going to get rid of all the checkout lanes. Just have a security guard. Same thing with these toll booths, getting rid of the actual people. Wake up, America. Well, back on I-35, back on the internal checkpoint, nothing like it. It's a free country. Here we go.
I'm not going to play audio. I'm just getting video of the scenery.
Yeah, oh, that's really pretty over there.
Where?
Show you a trick, Mike. Oh, really do a good job. So that will roll down.
How come this don't roll down?
Broken it. Well done, Lord Tyrannus. Right. Yeah. That's what I said. Get ready.
And here's another one. Ashley's got a nice pyramid.
Okay, go ahead, Alex. Here she goes.
Oh, how gracious of her.
She still does the job, but I'm a robot doing it.
How's it going?
It's going. You guys aren't supposed to be videotaping at the KTA.
Oh, really? Why? Oh, what's the law?
Because it's one of their authorized rules and regulations and you can be arrested for it.
Oh.
Well, better call the police then.
Oh, here she goes.
Oh, this is going to be great.
Should I just keep it rolling?
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Well, say it, Alex.
Well, we just got threatened with arrest in the United States of America at a toll booth with a video camera. And she just told us we're going to get arrested.
Okay, I'm asking you. You want me to keep it going?
Well, literally, we pull in here, we ask the lady, how's she doing? She says, no videotaping.
Why not? I've never heard that. We're on our own car.
How about I pull over here and wait for him?
How are you?
How much do I owe you? How about I pull over and wait for the police? I want to...
It's going to be $4.75.
Well, no, she said she's calling the police on me. I want to wait for him.
I'm not making a big issue of it.
Well, I'm a syndicated talk show, so the television show. I know the laws in this country, and I'm going to enjoy this. I know this is an internal checkpoint. I know she says it's airport rules, but it's not. But I'm proving this to the people with this example. Incredible.
Here she is.
This woman
There she is right here.
Yeah, I don't want her to make false charges. Ma'am, you can't quote any law to me, but do you need me to stay for the police? Would you ask her, please? She just threatened.
Sir, if you hold up the traffic any longer, I will have to call it.
Okay, we got it on tape. You guys close to go. Thank you. Bye-bye.
God, what a joke. I cannot believe that.
All right, you may have to eject that tape and put a new one in. They'll try to confiscate it.
Go ahead and tell us what happened.
It's just the new country, folks. That's all it is. And,
Really. You're in the 55, Kansas City. It's good, right?
yeah.
I think it's 10. You'll conference flashing right on the off ramp.
It also says gun show.
And the address of the mall is 5200 Blue Ridge Boulevard. Yes, Blue Ridge Boulevard, not Blue Ridge Cutoff. Okay, they're right next to each other, and It's Blue Ridge Boulevard, okay, and that's of course in Kansas City, Missouri. And when you get off of the on-ramp,
I don't remember this.
no, see, I can't talk to her and give you directions at the same time.
No, I know.
Okay, we're lost. We're lost here because I was giving you directions. This is what leads us downtown, and we damn sure don't want to go there. I've already been this route. This is the screwed up part where I got lost before. I'll get back on the other map here in just a second. Anyway, get off at Metcalf, go south until you hit College. It's only like the next light or two. Then go east on College.
We'll call you back in 10 minutes. Hello? Yeah, oh God, where do I go now? This place...
This is the same way I went before. I can get us there from here. It's just a pain in the butt.
At least it's not traffic.
Oh, this was bumper to bumper stop when I was here.
Well, this was like an old city.
Getting it.
Yeah.
I love those older buildings.
This is...
We're all new.
Mike, get a shot of it.
I am.
My window's broken. It doesn't roll down. There you go.
Can you pull over for a second and get it?
May have the camera. Missed it.
It's gonna come out there.
I don't know if I'll be able to sit here.
You have your headphones on?
Do what?
Just look in the back, see if there's anybody coming. Sponsor. Applebee's.
Shh.
Here it comes.
champagne glasses at the wedding. You know?
Yeah, that's what it kind of looks like.
Just one little tip and everything goes over.
That's not a video.
Hello, folks. This is Mike Hansen for Travis County Commission. Hello, folks. This is Mike Hansen for Travis County Constable Precinct 4. We're here in Kansas City today. We're getting ready to hear Alex and Lieutenant Colonel Craig Roberts speak. So we'll have a little bit more for you later. Hello, folks. This is Mike Hansen for Travis County Constable Precinct 4. And who do we have today? We're here live in Kansas City. You know, it took us a long time to get up here. We went through tornadoes and everything to get here. Did you? Oh, yeah. We had to stop in Oklahoma. I was asleep in the back of the truck and Mason was sleeping. Alex was driving. There was about 70-mile-an-hour wind, so he pulled over in Perry, Oklahoma. What's your story?
Oh, we've been in the Kansas City area for a couple of years, and Alex had me on as a guest about 3 or 4 months ago, and back in 1960 I had an experience. I'm about 50 now, and when I was 7 years old, my mom and dad went back to Cuba with me, and my mom and dad were originally from Cuba, and he thought that Castro was the great liberator of Cuba, and when we got there for about 2 years, took us 2 years to get back off the island, but we got a rude awakening and lived in that country for the first 2 years that Castro was in power, and as soon as we got off the plane, they took all my dad's life savings, strip searched my mother and took all her jewelry, told them where to work, where to live, and they took me away from my parents at gunpoint, where they put me in a Cuban military school for about 6 months. And it was a very hair-raising experience, but especially as a child. But what I told Alex when he had interviewed me before, that the things that I saw happening there parallels exactly what I see happening here. I've got 9 kids, and I'm really
9. You've been pretty busy.
yeah.
All yours.
Oh yeah, yeah. I've got 8. I've got 8 on Earth and 1 in heaven. I got 2 daughters in college in South Florida, and the rest of my crew outside. 4 boys and 2 girls, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and 12, and they're all looking forward to seeing Alex and meeting him and being out here today.
Hey, well, God bless you. I hope to talk to you later. Thank you. If you're ever in Austin. Yeah. I heard his. Hello, folks. This is Mike Hansen for Travis County Hello, folks. This is Mike Hansen for Travis County Constable Precinct 4. Believe it or not, we're here in Kansas City, and we have a packed house here to see Alex Jones and Lieutenant Colonel Craig Roberts. We have John Statmiller and also Ralph Epperson going to speak today. So stay tuned here, and maybe we'll get some people, some locals here to tell you what's going on here in Kansas City. Be sure to get out and vote March 9th, 2004. March 9th, 2004 in the Democratic primary for Mike Hansen for Travis County Constable Precinct 4. Sure would appreciate it. Thanks a lot, and stay tuned right here. God bless. It's about 15 to 10, and Alex Jones and Lieutenant Colonel Craig Robertson is getting set up to speak. We have John Statmiller, and we also have Ralph Epperson going to speak. It's a nice setup here in Kansas City. We have an overflow crowd outside the doors. They haven't let the people in yet. We have quite a few people waiting to get in. Kansas City, Missouri. Alex Jones getting ready to speak. Alex Jones getting ready to speak to a large crowd. They haven't opened the doors. There's Lieutenant Craig Roberts. There's Lieutenant Colonel Craig Roberts coming over here. Alex okay, Jones. Folks, we have Lieutenant Colonel Craig Roberts. What are you going to be speaking about today, Colonel? Introduce yourself to the people of Austin, Texas.
I don't know.
Right there.
Oh, I don't know. Me and Billy Bob was talking about just the other day, and I thought I'd talk about his goat, but he said, no, his pig's much whole lot better to talk about.
Get serious here. You know, I'm running for constable, and you're a retired master police officer, right? What does that mean? What does master mean? You're a master of what?
Well, you don't want to go there.
Oh, seriously, folks, we will have a better interview later with the Colonel.
Still coming in here at the Crockett Center. Now we are live in Northeast Austin. Eileen Gonzalez, Fox 7 News at 9. And we're back at the Fox 7 News Central, and here's a look at some of the big local contests here in Travis County. First of all, the Travis County Judges Race. Look at this. With less than 1%, that's early voting in. Bisco with 54%, Hans, the former county commission, with 42%, and the Libertarian with 4% of the vote. And now we go to place 2.
Yeah, Karen Suttonleitner holding her own there, 52-45 against Sherry Gallo. You see the independent there with 3% of the vote, and we have one more there as well.
Precinct 3, which is Darty's race. Moore is the incumbent. She was appointed to the post when Baxter left to run for the state representative office, so Moore is trailing now. Darty with 55%, Moore with 43%, but again, this is less than 1% of the vote reporting.
And as we know, Travis County typically takes quite a bit of time to get the vote in, so it may be a while. And we see also for Precinct 4, Hanson there with a huge lead over Benedict and Gomez. Gerald Doherty, interesting note, if you might remember his name, he is the one who some think single-handedly helped thwart the rail effort here in Austin a couple of years ago.
March 9, 2004, Democratic primary, South Austin. Where's your other constable? She's not even here. That's right. Where's the constable? They're not even here. I'm here. What's a good time to catch in? Anytime, my cell phone. You have my cell phone. You gave me a call. All right. Hey, March 9, 2004. March 9, 2004, Democratic primary, South Austin. How you doing? Well, still tell everybody precinct 4. March 9, 2004. Democratic primary, South Austin. How do you feel about this war? What do you think? Oh, nice job. Okay. You don't see that. You don't see any of the other constables here, do you? That's what I know. Hey, there's my favorite. Hey, they want to know how I feel about the war. What do you think? Yeah. Hi, Randy. You're in my new book, Randy. Thanking you. Hey, how's it going? Here you go, sir. Sir. Hey, Mike, how about a war message, bud? It's right here. I got it on the side here. Okay, all right, there you go. Thank you so much. March 9, 2004! I'm not Alex. I need a bullhorn. When's the station going back on there? What happened? The FCC came into town Tuesday. Damn, okay. But we're going to put it back up. Same 91 point? Yeah. Okay, because I clicked on twice. Call me and I'll let you know the details. In about a couple days. Mike Jones is out. Mike Jones is out of town right now. So we have to shut it down. Let's see if we get a warrant. Okay. Yeah. God, where's all these people coming from? I don't know. I've been here for an hour waving. I've been here since 1 o'clock. I've been here since 11. Sitting right here. March 9, 2004, Democratic primary, South Austin. Hey, thank you so much. I sure appreciate it. I need votes. Where you live south? It doesn't matter. Tell everybody south. I will. That's the main key. Word of mouth. Force multiplication, people. Force multiplication. We need votes. We're going to get them. I don't see any other conference. My voice has went out to sleep. I've been here since 11. How's it going? How's it going? It's off there right now because the FCC shut it down for just until we get it back up again. Yeah, we'll get it back up. Yeah. Chris, do you have internet? Well, call me and I'll get you one. I'll get you one somehow. I gave them all away, but I'll get you one somehow. Oh yeah. Yeah. I'm sorry. I put you in there for spiritual support in my book. Yep. How you doing? I'm looking for you. Oh, I love you. Vote for me. I like Infowars.com. I like Grand Canyon too. March 9, 2004. I'm about to out my voice. how's it going? I can't, hey, how's it going? I can't yell anymore. That's all right. I'll give you a call. I still have your card, okay? I didn't run into him last time. How about the next week? Yeah, but I'm running the red. Yeah, my voice is about gone. Here, I want to get you on TV here, right here.
Miss Dick said that she was going to come down here, but I haven't seen her.
Yeah, I hadn't seen her either. I've been here. The whole time.
That was some kind of congresswoman that was talking. Boy, she was really talking.
Really?
Yeah, man, she was powerful.
Yeah. Nah, I bet I got.
How long are you going to be here?
I bet I got 1,000 votes.
Good.
Yeah.
How long are you going to be here?
One woman said, "Oh, I'll vote for Marina Conville." Well, where is she? Where is she? I was here walking. Yeah.
I'm going to walk over and come back. You don't stay right here?
No, I can't. I got to go back to the gun shop.
Where's the gun shop?
Way out 290. I'm selling tapes out there. I got to get back out there. Kevin Smith got my deal out there. I'm going to be out there tomorrow too.
Okay. Well, I'm thinking of walking down here direct.
Did you see all those people that going to vote? See, it's no way.
Yeah.
Hey, how's it going?
I think they're going to call out the wall.
I just want to say you're awesome.
Well, you're awesome. We need y'all to get involved.
I'm getting involved.
Good.
I think they're going to call out
This
the
is
war,
great.
don't you?
Well, I hope they call off the war.
They said they're going to do it, but did you hear about those 11 guys that got killed out in New York?
March 9th, 2004.
I wonder if they're saying that Saddam is going to do if Saddam did that. That helicopter that we did?
That was a crowd of people.
I know. I think it's bigger than it was months ago.
Really?
At first when I was up there, I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
And so Jeff and I walked down a little bit, stopped and watched.
Right.
It's easily the 10,000 that it was.
It seemed like it.
It's easily as big.
I bet I got 1,000. I bet I got 1,000 votes out of that thing.
Well, the news said that it's going to be all over the world, that it's a march all over the world today.
This is where we need. This is two great ladies right here.
Good job.
Right here. Cream I can borrow? No, why?
I don't have any. I've already burned. It's too late for me.
Hey, Mike. Yeah.
Sun is bad.
You don't have a bald head anymore. You don't have to worry about your head.
I'm giving out the constitutional bill of rights.
Good. Somebody was just here.
What I'm doing is giving it
For the next month, we'll be saving
That just gets me on about
Look at Doggy here. Dogs Against War. My goodness gracious.
You get it where you can see that dog?
Yeah, Dogs Against War.
Yeah. Mike Hanson, y'all live south?
No, we live right south.
Spread the word over there. I got a year. Great. God bless you. Thanks. We're over here. Move that camera just for a second.
All right.
Stay on the sidewalk portion.
They said stay on. Oh, it's the march is going to be at 2 o'clock.
Oh, okay. Why did you can't stay on the sidewalk?
On Saturday, May 3rd, we expect to join tens of thousands of people from around the United States here in Austin, Texas for a national multitude rally on the Sundown
you going to do anything today? Oh, I'm so sorry. What's wrong with her?
House continuing Resolution 75. Many cities across the country, including Austin, have already passed resolutions against this war. And in Jerry's flavor of ice cream, when I asked him how he wanted me to introduce him, he said, well, a Buddhist monk once said to somebody, wavy gravy is self-explanatory. So without further ado, a great friend to peace and a great friend to this nation, wavy gravy.
Yes. And laughter and a sense of humor is so important when we're doing this work. Laughter is like the valve on the pressure cooker of life. And if you don't laugh at stuff, you end up with your beans and your brains on the ceiling. So dare to struggle, dare to grin, and keep being creative. Let the wind of creation blow through your heart, and let's never stop meeting like this. Thank you. So what do we want? Peace. What do we want? When do we want it? What do we want? When do we want it? What do we want? When do we want it? Eternity now!
Statement in opposition to the president's impending war on Iraq. I'd like to read a few passages from that statement. America's working families and their unions fully support the efforts to disarm the dictatorial regime of Saddam Hussein. This is best achieved in concert with a broad international coalition of allies and with the sanction of the United Nations. We believe there may be times when we must stand alone and act unilaterally in defense of our national security, but in the context of global war on terrorism, the threat posed by Saddam Hussein deserves multilateral resolve, not unilateral action. Saddam Hussein is a demagogue and a despot with an appalling human rights record over the past 2 decades. A decade ago, when Iraq invaded its neighbor Kuwait, the United States organized a broad coalition of allies to stand united against this aggression. That aggression did not stand. Today, however, there is no such unity of resolve. Such divisions not only among the peaceniks from the 60s and 70s, and
Yeah, where are you? Okay, bye. I think that's a good idea for her to vote for
We need
you.
to say the nation and you.
Right there.
That's right.
Show her the card. She's
I
voting
mean,
for me.
It's 1 second. You don't lose nothing. You got it 24 hours in the day. I die for the country.
That's right.
She's good.
Michael, you tell it. Because I need my own 2 hands, okay?
All right.
Wait to show you. I die for the country before you were born. Now they come and the foreigners to steal the country. No. Not till I die.
You hear what she's saying, folks?
What is she saying exactly?
Give it to me back, though. Make it a picture of that heart.
She got it. Is this your husband or you did this? You did? She got it. She got a Medal of Honor.
1944.
Right here.
That's a Purple Heart.
Purple Heart. She has a Purple Heart. Oh, look at that. Look at that, folks.
Give it that, give it that.
That's right.
Thank you.
What branch did you serve?
The army. You see how smart they are? I went to the Air Force 35. They are so smart.
Yeah.
No, they are smart with the brains, but no heart. Look at me heart. Goal. Come on. They are so smart with no heart.
Here we go. Another voter here, folks.
Well, let me see that. Put that under. Put that right here under the.
Right there. Put it underneath there.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you.
2 years when you
Show the people the scar. Right there.
You got that? That's how you got your Purple Heart?
Yes.
Good.
See, they demand everything, they no prove nothing.
Yeah.
I will be in heaven thinking of you, though.
Yeah.
Michael,
Yeah.
you need to win.
I'm gonna win.
We got a baloney people around,
I'm
you know.
gonna win.
Yeah, I know. I stopped for that name.
Yeah.
When I saw you, you was on TV yesterday.
Oh, really? Where? I didn't know.
Oh, yeah, in Channel 4, I mean, the loco.
Okay.
But you know what I was doing now? Going out there to die, guys.
Yeah.
I was
Well,
going
there's
out there to die.
There's plenty of people up there.
It's easy to dance, you know. It's the body, you know. It's the body.
Well, here, tell the people to get out and vote for Mike Hansen. Come here. Tell the people right there to get out and vote for Mike Hansen. Tell them.
People, Americans, we are the United States of America for the glory of God. And this man, with the glorious name of Michael the Archangel, the mighty in heaven, will win for you. And this nation will be back to what he belongs, to God and to us. We are the God people.
But you didn't tell them to vote for Mike Hansen?
I'm sorry. When I love you, I can. Please, people of the city of Austin, the Augusta city of Austin, vote for Michael and I vote for you forever. Austin, Austin, from the heavens I will pray for you. I cannot do no more. From heavens the Lord will bless you.
You heard it right here, folks.
This is the Augusto city of Texas, the head of the nation and the head of the world. Until you know study and think, you lose what you are. I love you more than myself.
God bless you.
One more time.
God bless
you for,
America.
God bless you for serving.
America, we are America.
For serving this country so
And
good.
you're going to service us.
Oh, she's so good. I ought to be kissing your hand. Where?
This woman.
She's good. She's my campaign manager.
You know what happened in
I have a
Mexico?
woman campaign manager. What can I say?
Look, I think I'm waiting for the devils. Maybe I don't wait for the devils. Take it a moment.
But get a long shot where with the Hansen here.
God bless America. And Michael. You. God bless America. God bless America and Michael.
One vote at a time.
Got a lot of traffic now.
Yeah. you. How are you? Oh, okay. Sorry. Oh, go shake hands with Mike.
How y'all doing?
He's a good guy. He's a very good guy.
Democratic primary.
Good guy.
We'd
Please.
like to see you here documenting.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I was up there.
Good to see you.
I'll be down there. Hey guys, March 9, 2004. How you doing? How's it going? How's it going? Democrat. Here you go. March 9, 2004. Democratic primary. Why would I be for Bush and Gore? Hey, Michael. Hey, I gotta be God bless y'all. March 9, 2004, Democratic primary, South Austin. How y'all doing? March 9, 2004, Democratic primary, South Austin. March, hey, how's it going? Are you getting that handshakes here? I want to put these people on TV. They look too good. Hey, God bless you, sir. Hey, appreciate the work y'all do. Well, we're trying to do something. We're going to get in there and put a wrench in this system. God bless you. March 9, 2004, Democratic primary, South Austin. Love y'all. This is a big crowd. Hey, how's it going? Right here for TV. Thank y'all so much. March 9, 2004, Democratic primary, South Austin. Of course I'm not for Bush and Gore. Bush and Gore. Yes. The Democrat this year. How y'all doing? Got him again. Hey. Love y'all. Thank you. There you go. Appreciate it. Okay. Are they going to ever stop coming? How y'all doing? Why would anybody ask me if I was going to stop talking before? We ought to have one of those signs that we ought to have. March 9, 2004, Democratic primary, South Austin.
What's your stance on war?
No war. Why would I want war? I don't want Bush's phony war. I don't know. Nobody's giving me one. There you go. Thank you. Where can I put it at? Hey, how's it going? Let me give you a card. Call me if you need it. I'm available.
Just hold it up, Mike.
No, but I can't shake hands.
Yeah, hold it with your left hand.
March 9, 2004, Democratic primary, South Austin. Huh? Hey, South Austin. Love y'all. How's it going? All righty. Y'all the ones walking. Walk with us. I know, he's on the radio now. Walk with us. Well, I'll be there. I'll trail you. they ever going to stop coming? March 9, 2004, Democratic primary, South Austin. How's it going? Well, you can tell everybody in Travis County on this side. March 9, 2004, Democratic primary, South Austin.
Mom's got to sing. God's what a dollar. Lord Dan.
A lot of people.
A misdemeanor one class that cost me $50, and I went and there were 12 people there, and only 3 of them deserved to be there.
That almost seems like what you said about the currency bill and the Federal Reserve Act being the two different things.
It was on the cover of the Statesman this week.
You said on Chris's tape there were two different things. Do you
that's
still
worse
think they're
than
two
me.
different things?
Well, it's 2 separate incidents, part of the
That's all
same
I'd
bill.
like to say. Thanks.
So they are the same thing, same bill?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Alex.
You look like a real dangerous character.
Doing a good job, Alex.
Okay, next speaker, Steve Mason. Now, National Shortwave. Young guy's done a lot of. I gotta tip my hat to him. The guy's got a lot of energy. He puts a lot of work into this. Mr. Alex Jones. You know, I'm not even really here to speak to you guys. Almost all of you, I'm sure, probably know more about this than I do. We read about the worldwide
website to that. I don't have it with me right now, but if you'll call me at 512-933-1950, I will give you the website to that. Okay, my number.
wanting to visit or do business with Mexico. They're listed in the phone book.
Do you have some?
Into that? Do you have anybody that works with you that is in the organization part?
To find out what they're doing.
Now, right there, my answer is on the camera.
And God bless y'all, and thanks a lot.
Why don't y'all give a hand for Jeff Davis? He's the one that put this thing together. This is really important, folks. I mean, we're talking death, good, evil.
I promoted this thing a whole bunch. He's out here on this. Probably won't want to.
Our world's in an absolute state of emergency. Absolute state of emergency. 2 million people just died from starvation in North Korea. That's your responsibility. And this can be proven, believe it or not. All you have to do is research the Freedom of Information Act passed in 1966.
Yeah.
Millions upon millions of declassified documents that prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that our governments are corrupt. Your world leaders.
Hey, buddy, how you doing?
They're a satanic group called the Illuminati, a worldwide network of corrupt people controlling you through consumerism.
Hey, buddy, how you doing?
Many of our world leaders are pedophiles, child molesters, rapers, murderers,
Giving a talk here? Yeah.
satanic worshipers. That's why you have war, folks.
I'm speaking with a
Do
senator
you know anybody that wants war?
committee or something?
No, they're
You
having,
know.
they're having this rally.
It must be our world leaders.
Oh, I know.
They're corrupt.
Oh, I know. You're one of the
I have no earthly idea, man.
Enjoy death.
Hey, how you doing, Alex?
Bill, be on your show tonight?
Yeah, I tried to
Get off to it.
Work it out.
He was on this week.
I heard.
That's where we're at, and we have been
Hey, I'm putting together my new
completely
documentary and working on it. It's going to be better.
all through the ages. This took thousands
Have
of
you heard?
years, folks.
You know I'm in the
Didn't
fight
happen
for drugs.
overnight.
Yeah, well, you come on right after.
And the television
That shortwave comes in so good,
is
it
the
sounds like
perfect
AM.
brainwashing machine.
During that time of day. Yeah, I've been at WRC all week, man.
Works so well, doesn't it?
Moving and making a move now. It's time that we as Americans draw a line in the sand. This is it. We're going to tell them we're not going to stand anymore.
Yes!
Do this. So our Fourth Amendment protects us in our homes, in our vehicles, in our persons. Our First Amendment allows us to stand up like we're doing now and say, look, we don't like this tyranny. And our Second Amendment...
Like the IMF and the United Nations. Just watch your mainstream news. They're admitting this.
You want to do it from here? You want me to? Was it time for music?
I think so.
Lastly, I want to ask those folks who believe in what we believe, but they don't have...
Forgive me, but has anyone ever heard of the International Police Association? Do y'all know what it is?
No, what is it?
It is a group of policemen who get together and they're working underneath the United Nations. The International Police Association pretty much does everything that our normal police do, only they do it under the authority of the United Nations. I can give you the website to that. I don't have it with me right now, but if you'll call me at 512-933-1950, I will give you the website to that. Okay, my number one more time is 512-933-1950.
The Lloyd Doggy,
I'm
do you think that
mad
was the same
because
as what
people are too
Chris and Aaron
scared
did
to get up and stand up and say, you know, this is bullshit.
Should you be condemned for
know?
going in front of Lloyd Doggy? Should you?
My mother's afraid I'm going to get kicked out of Texas. Can you
nothing
believe
to say,
this?
people. No answer to the hypocrisy.
I've got the right to stand up here. I had someone on the street one day. I was handing out pamphlets, and there was a policeman on a bicycle standing right next to me. Someone walked by and said, "Doesn't he intimidate you?" I said, "No. He's not there to harass and intimidate me. He's there to serve and protect."
Wrong about, were you wrong that 3 senators passed the Federal Reserve Act? Were you wrong that the currency bill and the Federal Reserve Act were
Thank you all
different?
for coming out here and having the guts to do it.
It's apples and oranges.
And
were you
I guess
wrong?
Jeff will-
We're talking about the committee. Now, if you don't understand the parliamentary procedure, I'm not going to try to explain it to you.
Well, I don't think you understand it. Were you wrong that 3 senators
Jeff
passed
asked
the
me to
Federal
show
Reserve
why I'm on
Act? Yes or no?
probation. I'm
Were
on
you wrong about that?
probation for failure to
The way you put it, yes, I would be wrong. Okay. What I'm talking about,
Thank you, Alex.
what I'm talking about, Christian, is 3 senators
I got
passed it in
fined
a quorum call with the
$400.
committee. Then nobody read it. They voted.
Court costs,
That's what we're talking about. That just happened
$800
this
to
week.
my lawyer,
In 1998,
24
with a
hours
$500
community
million
service, a misdemeanor
budget,
one class
which was
that cost
passed
me
in committee,
$50, and I went and there were
half of the
12
full
people
House.
there, and
No
only
one had
3
time
of
to
them
read it.
deserved
That
to
almost
be
seems
there.
like what you said about the currency bill and the Federal
And
Reserve
I
Act being
paid
the 2
$40
different
a month
things.
It was on the cover of the Statesman this week.
You
so-
said on Chris's tape there were 2 different things.
And
Do you
that's
still think
first
they're 2
offense.
different things?
Well, it's 2 separate incidents, part of the
That's all
same
I'd
bill.
like to say. Thanks.
So they are the same thing, same bill?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Alex.
You look like a real dangerous character.
You're doing a good job, Alex.
Appreciate it,
Okay,
man.
next speaker, Steve Mason. Now,
National Shortwave. Young guy's done a lot of. I got to tip my hat to him. The guy's got a lot of energy. He puts a lot of work into this. Mr. Alex Jones. You know, I'm not even really here to speak to you guys. Almost all of you, I'm sure, probably know more about this than I do. We read about the worldwide convictions of UN so-called peacekeeping forces cutting the heads off little children. We see the butchery, the manipulation of the world economy. We see the IMF go into Russia and South Korea and tell them to quadruple their taxes because that's a free market reform. We see our local police coming more and more under federal control. We see the so-called anti-terrorism training going on in all the cities, the police girding themselves in black with ski masks. You know what I have to say to you. Get ready, because this is history. It repeats itself. Look at this century alone. Now, speaking to the law enforcement officers here, see, I have nothing to hide. I'm not a criminal. And I want them to know that. I want them to start going out and getting the child molesters and the murderers that we see in the back of the newspaper every week who are released to kill and kill and kill. They just found Colleen Reed's body a couple weeks ago. But they'll put you in jail, and I don't even smoke marijuana, but they'll put you in jail for just a little bitty bag of marijuana, but let out some murderer. Now give me a break. They want to pack the prisons with nonviolent people, and then they turn loose just incredible hordes of criminals to run wild, and that is the Hegelian principle. You create a crisis, you create fear, you offer a solution. Now the reason I've been on my crusade for 4 years now is because I hate bullies, and I hate people that are dumbing down our civilization. And that's the facts. Look at the test scores. I hate the IRS. To these law enforcement officers here, they can't go out and arrest somebody, at least not yet, and I know they don't want to, unless they have probable cause. And then they can't convict them unless they've been proven guilty. You see, in America, it's different from Germany and Russia and China, with all the dictators they've had. The difference is you're innocent until proven guilty. But with the IRS, you're not innocent until proven guilty. And some of these police officers have skulls that are so thick, they take these criminal orders, they put in the Bell Lab thumb scanners and scan us like cattle. And they're so thick-skulled, they don't see the commercials on TV by Lockheed and by Visa talking about doing it to buy and sell and to cash checks. Wake up! These cameras aren't for the criminals on the street corners. These thumb scanners aren't for the criminals or the so-called illegal aliens. It's all to control us, the slaves, the serfs, the feudal system. The average American pays 62% in some form of tax. Serfs in ancient Europe only paid 20%. And you know, the government likes to say, and city planners like to say, that big government gave us these structures. No, it was the men and women that laid the mortar. It was the people that laid the asphalt. It's the people that work in the plants, the automobile plants, the power plants, which is all being shipped overseas. They're shutting down this nation. And they can make their jokes. I challenge these law enforcement officers to go to Walmart or any other store. 95% of the items are from out of this nation, from India, from China, from you name it. And that's a fact. That's a concrete fact. What are we supposed to fight the next war with? Wendy's hamburgers? We're going to throw hamburgers at them? And then you got to ask yourself, why is this happening to our country? Because we're America. We stood up to Adolf Hitler. We stood up to Stalin. We stood up to the British Empire and kicked their butt back in 1776. And we're going to do it again, George Bush and Bill Clinton. You're nothing but British agents. Let's take Franklin Delano Roosevelt. It's in the history books that his family was the heroin runners for the British East India Company. Yeah, heroin used to be legal. DPS, get your history. You men are just like the stormtroopers back in Germany in 1933. Most of them were decent people. But as it got bigger and bigger, and as the power surged, and as the propaganda poured, by 1940, they were killing millions of people. Look at every other nation, from Africa to Central and South America, to China, to Cambodia, to Vietnam, to Eastern Europe. Death, death, death! You fools! You're all going to pay in America! I'm weak! And you really head down! Hand me that bullhorn. Backup source. And I'm saying to people, the death threats to my person and my family and my friends and the harassment which we've documented now by the Tower Records down at the Mueller Airport, I don't care. You see, the people that harass us, they're cowards and they think it's going to bother us. It's not. It's only going to reaffirm our spirit of freedom to stand up for our nation and not to let what we know is correct be washed away. That's what I'm here to talk about today. Tomorrow there's a big gun rally. I hope all you come out, Jeff and everybody else. Because I want the law enforcement to know this. Starting next month, sir, yes, starting next month, federal registering of all guns. Oh, they say they're only going to hold the records for 18 months. Kind of like in 1936 when they said the Social Security number would never be used for personal identification. It's incrementalism. They got the power, they just want more power. And make no mistake, they're enforcers, the law enforcement community, many of which are waking up, who are good people. We've got police officers here in the crowd. I have CIA agents on my radio program, FBI. What about Frederick Whitehurst, DPS, former head of the FBI crime lab? Came out and said the FBI every major case. When they go out and destroy the Murrow Federal Building, of course they got to manufacture some evidence. When they, oh, it's not just me, it's the October 28th, 1993 New York Times. Sheikh Abdel Rahman, they gave those guys the bomb, helped them cook it, trained the driver. Why would they do this? Well, why would Hitler burn the Reichstag? To create fear, to create a crisis. And I see the police talking to themselves. They're probably talking about their wife back home and their kids, trying not to face the facts because they're cowards. The real men and women stood up a long time ago, and I count myself proud to be here with you today. Yes, long live the Constitution. God bless America, and death to the New World Order. We shall, we must, and we will prevail because we're willing to stand up against what's happening. Last thing I'm going to say is this. 2 weeks ago on CNN, they admitted that Marines, I have a lot of friends that are Marines, current and former, they've all been asked the 29 Palms questionnaire, would you fire on U.S. citizens? Well, I've got the video, and I've heard it many times, of mock gun confiscations going on in Hebron, Maryland, September 3rd and 4th. FEMA, with secret military teams, took over Philadelphia 4 weeks ago. Ali Philippus, chief of police in San Antonio, threw out the Delta Force, as most of you have seen on our television shows, the interview, for trying to bribe me. They shot into an all-night restaurant, a training exercise in Miami. They're hiring a bunch of sociopaths. The good people are getting out. It's time for us to stand up. Every one of you is an educator and a teacher. Now get out there and win this game. We have got to fight and stand up. It's not going to be easy. But I'll assure you this. We can, and we will, and we must prevail.
George Humphrey, Rusty Fields. God bless you, Rusty.
We're a free nation only as long as we are vigilant, as long as we are aware. There are some people who would try to tell you, say yes to liberty, say yes to freedom, keep standing up for your rights. God bless every person that's here and every person that believes in this nation. Thank you.
We're now going to do what we came here to do in the first place. Y'all want to come in here closer? I think we're going to probably need a, how are we going to do this? Yeah, a stick or something. Can anybody round up a stick or something?
A stick. Who has a stick?
Where's that cane off that tree, but environmental. We want to go in towards it.
Hold it on the end until it gets ready.
Everybody crowd around. Jeff Davis is fixing to burn this flag. And I want to say something to law enforcement. We love you guys. We just see you the Atlanta strain controlled by Comrade Clinton. And Reno, the Brooklyn, Waco. And y'all need to see Waco rules of engagement. The feds on clear state. And all the machine guns, men, women, and children. Get ready to make your video tours. You need to go out and get Michael Golden's tape. You're a real man.
Hey, mind your wife?
Surrender my nation to your global plantation.
Hey, Jeff, the camera. Cut the heart out. There you go. Somebody spread this. Spread it. Yeah, hold the other corner. We state of tyranny right here, brother.
We're gonna tell them.
This is the violent organization. Now let's burn it.
Watch out.
Burn that baby.
Who's got the lighter? Go ahead, light. Here we go, folks.
Where are you at, Jim?
American-made Zippos.
American-made lighters.
I like that, man. I like that.
I've tried it before. You're not going to light it. But light it down inside the bucket so there's no wind.
How about an end that's already been torn?
Hey, pour some lighter fluid on it.
There you go.
Can we exhaust your supply for it? Pull it open for it. It's hard to kill the New World Order. You lay it right there. These guys are going to come prepared.
There we go.
Yeah. Light it again.
Go.
Nylon piece of garbage doesn't like it burned. Fire base, get it down in the bucket if you want to burn it, I'm telling you guys. Come on, bitch. Here, why don't we just set up some paper burning in the bucket and drop it in? Good idea, you got the paper? Well, we got literature. Here's my wife has it. Right here. No, this will get like that and then put it under. I'm telling you guys, you need to get it down in the bucket. Nylon pieces of garbage. I'm at the buy cloth one next year.
Stop on it!
Yeah, now just hold it over the bucket for a minute. Hold it over that. Come on, burn, damn it.
Yeah, I've got some Inferno coming.
There we go.
One ad. Take them all. Here's all of them.
Here's this liberal rag, Austin. American snakeskin. Statesman. Snakeskin. That's insulting to the snakes.
Excellent, Jesse, excellent. Right here it is, folks.
We're smoking the flag.
Death to the New World Order, right here. Death.
There's the flame. Put it there in the flame.
Burn, baby, burn!
But not law and order. Lower it in there. Lower it in there. Stink.
From my cold dead hands.
Just like the UN.
Right. There's the flames, yeah. Cook it. Here, put paper on top of it. That'll... Burn it with the rest of the trash.
Death to the New World Order, right there it is. Death. Death to the New World Order.
That's what we say to this New World Order, baby. Burn it with the rest of the trash.
Mike.
Not yet.
We're over here. Where's the mic at, Jeff? Where's the mic at?
There it is, ladies and gentlemen. That's the New World Order.
Death to the New World Order right here, folks. This is what we think about their New World Order right here.
Oh, okay. You see, the general public thinks the United Nations as the TV staged events with Kathy Lee Gifford at Disney, with Winnie the Pooh and Winnie and Mickey Mouse. Yeah, everybody's exactly. Listen, it's a criminal organization. You must oppose it. We have to oppose it. You realize most of the Austin high schools and junior highs have UN organizations where they dumb down the youth and tell them that everything is pragmatism. Don't stand for anything. Just go into a big world committee and get along with everybody, give up your rights and give over your firearms over the loving UN. Now we got people burning Federal Reserve notes. FRNs. That's right. Here. Folks, if you burn a UN flag, you might as well burn the people who finance the UN. Right here is a Federal Reserve note. It's a note. I'm going to burn this thing. It compliments the Steve Bank.
There you go. Hey, and you're... You said it's private Navy violation?
Molly, go park where you get arrested. Goodbye, baby.
By the member bank?
Hey, buddy.
Yeah. I'll see you right.
Put it out, put it out. What Jeff is burning is the mode of your slavery. Total unmitigated fraud. They're going after Microsoft right now for a monopoly. There's 5 different operating systems plus. There's only one Federal Reserve controlled by central banks in Europe. Even Forbes will tell you that. That's the truth. That's what has to be dealt with by all the YouTube off of. That's what we've got to stand up to, is the parasites. Well, we have so long for your country. Get fired up. Get fired up for your country. On three, let's say, long live the Constitution. God bless the Republic. All right.
Everybody that wants to come up here doesn't mind getting on video. Come on up here real quick.
Why do you think?
Come on, let's do it.
Come on, everybody up here. Come on.
Why does
If you don't mind getting on video.
Let's do it, guys.
Maybe on TV.
Let's stand up for our forefathers that died in World War I, World War II, Korea, and Vietnam. Let's stand up against global tyranny.
Come on up here, folks. If you don't mind being on TV. Everybody's proud to stand up here.
All right. Now remember.
Okay, this may be on TV. There you go. Okay, on one, two, three, we're going to say, God bless the Republic of the United States, death to the New World Order. 1, 2, 3. God bless the Republic of the United States and death to the New World Order. Let's get it one more time. Let's do it one more time. Get it bad for. All right, ready? Get a wide shot there.
Tell us what we're saying, Jeff.
God bless you, the Republic, and to the United States, and death to the New World Order. 1, 2, 3. God bless the Republic and the United States, and death to the New World Order. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Yes, thank you very much, folks. I think that's going to go ahead and wind it up here. Hey, I want to thank everybody for coming out. Tomorrow, 1 o'clock, big gun rally. They're registering the guns starting next month with Brady Phase 2. Brady Phase 3 is a waiting period for ammunition.
Don't forget about the conference tomorrow, Downsize Government Conference at the Chariot Inn on North I-35.
The bureaucrats want to push you around.
9 a.m.
It's time to stand up and keep your firearms.
Don't forget about Tuesday.
Important thing we're going to do, coming up this Tuesday, 314th West 11th, right up the street from here, 314th West 11th at 9 a.m. Get down there. We're going to stand up against regionalism. Jeff's going to unveil a package to stand up against it. So be down there at the Commissioner's Court at 314th West 11th this Tuesday morning. Get down there and let them know we want Austin under Texas control, under local control.
Why did you call that guy a bootlicker?
Not.
He asked you to?
Yeah, you heard him.
Good job.
There you go.
Good job.
I appreciate it, man. I'm sweating my ass off.
Good job.
Ah, it's hot. Stay away from the provocateur. Stay away from it.
I was going to say, I have to go to work.
Okay, run to work. The European Union goes online January 1st of next year. It'll take it about 6 months to a year to get cranking. They have now not an $8.7 trillion economy, but a $9 trillion economy. Plus, they're discussing it being backed 15 to 17% by gold. Gold that was transferred in 1933 from this nation by Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Ask your grandparents, DPS. They'll remember having to give it up for paper. When it goes online, you see nations nowadays just float their currencies against each other because it's just paper. And whatever nation has the biggest GDP and the biggest military has the world reserve currency. That's going to cease to happen next year. You understand, America will no longer be able just to pass these phony IOUs known as Federal Reserve notes. We better get back to our industrial base. And that starts by trimming back the size of government locally. They're trying to pass a $700 million plus bond package coming up November 3rd. That's not this Tuesday, but next Tuesday. Get out there and vote down every single one of the bonds. By the way, one of the propositions is for a command center downtown where FEMA is going to be housed. You can pick up the bond packages down, a basic brochure down at the City Hall or other city areas. Read it for yourself.
40 years.
It's also financed on 40 years. That's absolutely right. And Prop 11 and 12 aren't even on the brochure. There's not even a brief description. I mean, we need to think about that. And there's some racists here today, but just ignore them. We stand up against racists and people that are white supremacists and things like that that make obscene gestures of what I consider to be evil, and I apologize, everybody, for those people being here. But again, we welcome them to come and hear about what needs to be done. So I'll see you tomorrow out here. Please come out at 1 for the Second Amendment rally. All firearms will start being registered by the federal government starting next month. It's Brady 2, Phase 2 at the NCIC. Same place your thumb scanners are hooked into. We'll also see you Tuesday at the Commissioner's Court.
Thank you, Bill. That kind of introduction deserves a far better speech than I can give. But we're here today to stand up for freedom and to protest the rules of the second phase of the Brady Law that goes into effect on November the 30th. Back in 1993, when the Brady Law was first passed, gun owners were told that in 5 years, the 5-day waiting period on handguns would go away and would be replaced by a nice, slick, instant criminal background check that was going to be just like using your credit card. Congress appropriated $200 million, and those 5 years have passed, and unfortunately, the Clinton administration has cooked up a bunch of bad surprises for gun owners. Surprise number one, the Brady Law now includes long guns and sporting arms. Surprise number two, the National Instant Criminal Background Check is not going to be instant. The FBI can take up to 5 days to complete the instant criminal background check. It's not going to be instant. Surprise number three, gun owners who take their guns in for repair are expected to undergo a criminal background check just to get their firearm back from repair. Surprise number four, there's no effective appeal process on the NICS system. If you're wrongfully denied, you have to write letters back and forth to the FBI to try to prove your honesty. So we're all here today to stand up for freedom and to oppose the rules of NICS. Thank you very much.
Doesn't come as any surprise to most, though. Paul Velty, Speaker, member of this steering committee. Not only is he a prominent lawyer here in Austin, he's a constitutional scholar. And that, after all, what we base a lot of our beliefs on is that great document. He's a gun rights advocate and the founder of the Peaceable Texans for Firearms Right. Would you make welcome Paul Velty? Paul?
Thank you for being here. I'll keep my comments brief. We have quite a lineup of good speakers for you today, and I hope you'll stick around and listen to them. I think you're going to hear a wide diversity of opinion from this podium today. Not everyone agrees on what the problem is or what we should do about it. But I do think we can all agree that we have been losing the battle for our rights for the past 30 years. And the question is, how do we reverse the trend? I don't think merely stopping this trend is sufficient. We have to go on the offensive. We must begin in our daily lives, make a commitment, each and every one of us, to do something more than we have, to be proactive, to move forward. The best defense is a good offense, and we must take the fight to them instead of waiting for the next attack on us. Things are so bad that today we face a gun laws so profuse that they fill large books that make mere gun ownership fraught with legal risk. This is an intolerable situation. Epperson once made with me, and I'd ask you to take this pledge now. And I'd ask all of you to raise your right hand and repeat after me. I pledge eternal hostility to every form of tyranny over the mind of man. So help us God. Thank you. Howdy, folks. Can you hear me?
We do appreciate you turning out. We wish we'd had a lot more citizens turn out, but we're awful glad we didn't have this last weekend when you had all your rain. If you'll bear with me, instead of using my own words from this microphone, I'll be a little lengthy and read you a statement that Larry Pratt, the Executive Director of the Gun Owners of America, one of the few no-compromise gun lobbies in Washington, and helps fight for our rights. Thank you, members of the Texas militia, for peaceably assembling to protest the erosion of your rights. You are, of course, militia in terms of Title 10 of federal law, however politically incorrect that law may be. I would have joined you but for a prior engagement to address the Virginia Citizens Militia to protest our government's increasing turnover of American constitutional sovereignty to the United Nations. I understand that Senator Bob Smith of New Hampshire will be addressing you today. He is a hero who has fought single-handedly in the U.S. Senate in defense of the Second Amendment. He deserves your gratitude and your support. Senator Smith can explain to you better than I can what his amendment would have done to stop the FBI from registering gun owners. What he may not tell you is that he stood alone against a great deal of opposition. Even many of his pro-gun colleagues were afraid to have a vote. They were afraid we might lose. They had no appreciation for the value of a recorded vote to hold themselves accountable. Well, maybe that's why they did not want to vote at all. Keep in mind that even when Senator Smith passes his measure as a bill next year, and Lord willing that will happen, we will still have an instant check.
So we today would have the opportunity to peacefully change government for redress of wrongs and have a voice in laws passed for that government. This they did so we, their posterity, would not have to. The system we were given works. Even though there are those who would rule by decree, bypassing our legislatures and elected representatives, and those who would rule by bureaucracy, as in socialistic states, we, as free Texans and Americans, have the ability and means to change unjust or improperly conceived regulations and laws such as the Brady oppression. The 1989 Texas legislature passed the mandatory helmet law for adult motorcycle riders. That single unjust act introduced to me some of the finest people and brightest minds and closest friends I've ever had the opportunity of knowing. These people were welders, electricians, mechanics, computer programmers, doctors, soldiers, landscapers, llama ranchers, clerks, secretaries, and paper boys. Together, these men and women overthrew a government, legally, honestly, and openly in front of the entire world. They proved that the United States of America is still truly the place those men in San Antonio died to create. Those men's blood and ashes fertilized the new crop of Texans who follow them and still nourishes others. You here today have traces of them in your own blood or you would not be here. Before us is a new challenge. There are among us today some of the veterans who worked to change an unjust motorcycle law. They and we see more work to be done, another battle to be fought. Success and victory can only be obtained if you reach for it. Do not expect your neighbor or those other people to do this for you. It is your fight, my friends. Come join us. If every able-bodied male Texan had gone to the Alamo to stand with Travis in 1836, the Texas War for Independence would have been won in March of that year, not in April at San Jacinto. How would they park a battleship in the San Antonio River?
I don't know, but I bet you Texans could dig a hole to it. What do you want to bet?
They also remind us of a very, very special and cherished heritage here in Texas. And I'm so proud of what they're doing accidentally. They do more good having fun shooting than all the rest of the activities put together, and it's the fastest growing shooting sport in the country today. Thank you, my buddies. We Texans, not with assault weapons, but with a term that Mr. Velty up here coined, they did them with freedom weapons.
They did them with justice guns. They did them with liberty firearms. And that's what it's all about. Do we have the right to maintain those? The term assault weapon is just more federal doublespeak added to the inventory of militia mindlessness or mentality, Saturday night special, cop killer bullets, crime control, etc. High-tech weapons in the defense of liberty has never been a sin. Just look at Desert Storm. And how about our own Texas history? In the day of the single-shot front stuffer rifle, a 6-gun and a breech loader looked kind of high-tech in its own day. And if we hadn't had them, we'd all be looking for our scalps right now, and we'd be serving under a Mexican Constitution that doesn't recognize any Second Amendment. Historians talk about defining moments. And to me, if there was ever a defining moment in the history of our endeavors, all you folks and all us folks assembled here, it's here today. Clinton, Reno, and the federal police have finally disclosed to all who will take the trouble to look their real agenda. They believe that they can legally and morally justify taxation, regulation, and registration of our firearms, resulting in the opportunity for we gun owners to be accessed and harassed out of existence. The thought of the black-suited federal police having these insidious new tools should finally awaken all gun owners. And old Wes Lawman, rancher, damn good friend of a lot of us, Skeeter Skelton, sitting on a log one time, chided me by remarking that, Bear, the only thing that could control bad people with guns are good people with more guns. And by good people, he meant citizens, not just the police.
By Carpetbagger government in 1871. We restored it, and then we came back 2 years later, we made it better. And we can come back 2 years later in 1999 and make it even better. It is not a...
Senator Patterson was just reading to you. You could read that kind of thing all day long, for weeks on end, because there's so much in what it was meant to do. So never doubt the strength, the honesty of our position. I'm going to introduce to you another Second Amendment scholar. He's a retired judge.
But when we start talking about protecting our rights, about protecting and stopping the destruction of the Bill of Rights, about the fundamental right of self-defense, then the entire frame of argument shifts. They're on weak ground, and they know it. That's why they always talk about guns. Think about it. Listen to them. Always. Never about the Bill of Rights. Never about the right to self-defense. Never about your personal protection. It's about guns. Well, guns are an inanimate object. Why do you think it's called handgun control? Because they don't want you to know that what it really means is destroy the Second Amendment of the Bill of Rights. So they're not going to do that. The entire attack then is about what? It's about power. The power of the Second Amendment is a way, the power in the Second Amendment is in the way of remaking our country by a therapeutic, paternalistic state into a country of docile and servile people. If you want to know something that's got their job cut out for them, let them try that with us. The Second Amendment is the only thing standing between you and total submission. Without the power to fight back and to resist, you're not going to be free. You no longer have freedom. Free. It is at present a very slim blade upon which to lean, for much of the strength of the Second Amendment has already been lost. That reed break. That has been rolled back to the low point that it stands today. To a point where most of you that are under 30 never knew what it was to be free in this country as I did as a boy growing up. Be free and lose it, or never have it and only be able to dream and think about it. While a rally is good, and this is a good rally, to get the results that most of you won't, it's going to take more than a rally. It's going to take the one thing most of us are slow to get and hard to do. Follow through. With the determination to stay in the fight with all that we have. A majority of the elected and appointed bureaucratic government will view what we're doing here today and will mark us as enemies of the state, for we're in opposition of their plan. I'm personally insulted to be treated as an enemy and not trusted by my own government. Some of you have put your lives on the line to defend this country. But if you think serving this country congressional chapters, with each chapter to have the final say as to who will get their endorsement in the federal election race and any other office that's within that congressional district. If any office takes 2 or more congressional districts, then the chapters in that district will have to have a meeting and join together if they wish to endorse. Local control by people who are there. I don't say I necessarily agree with what you do, but that's not the point. The point is local control with local people making the decision. Well, as you can probably guess, when I presented my suggestion around here and there, it kind of went over like...
Next we have a lady, she's a state... Well, she was right about the media and how they handle our issues, but we live in a day and age when you don't have to rely on quite as much as you have. As you know, we now have the internet. We can go directly to the source. We don't have to wait for CBS to tell us. And we've got another thing called talk radio. And I'm happy to introduce local radio talk show host Alex Jones.
I want to thank everybody here who is in defiance of tyranny. And everything these people have said is absolutely true. Make no mistake, the enemy is on the march. They want you disarmed, just like Adolf Hitler, just like Joseph Stalin, just like all the rest of thugs, from Mao to Pol Pot, to our enemy 90 miles off our coast in Cuba. You don't hear the mainstream media talk about the hundreds of thousands of people that Fidel has tortured. And I support our local law enforcement. They are the Achilles heel of big government. That's why I'm saying to our law enforcement here today, we count on you to follow that oath, to protect and defend the Constitution of the state of Texas and of the United States of America that our forefathers fought the British to uphold. troops know that serfs are disarmed, whether it was feudal Europe or feudal Japan. And I heard that judge earlier. What a wonderful speech he gave. He's absolutely right. This is what the French call force majeure, the most powerful force. It's about power. And I know thousands of people that call or write me letters that are almost afraid to do it and mail it from the post office with no return address because they're afraid, because they know the power of this central government. They know the sociopaths that are being hired in the FBI and the big agencies, people like Lon Horiuchi, and the good people like Frederick Whitehurst are leaving, former FBI crime lab head. Now, if we go back in history, there's been a lot of talk about history, and it does prove what's happening today. I'm not worried about the people here today wearing sidearms. I love it. It's good. Makes me feel happy. Makes me not worry about my 11-year-old little sister. Makes me not worry about my mother and my grandparents. You know, my family's been in Texas since 1829 on my father's side, and 1845 on my mother's side as German immigrants in this area. And let me tell you, there's old gun lockers at my father's home, part of the house that didn't burn down, turn of the century. It's about 150 years old. I'm serious. Very, very old. And there are old gun lockers in there. There are old shotguns that are 160, 170 years old. There's new guns, you name it. Why, my HK-91s are stored there. And nobody in my family has ever gone to prison for murder or assault. And we all know how to use firearms. We all know how to shoot a ragged hole at 200 yards. And we're not backing down, Bill Clinton. You can go to Russia during the 60s. You can train and learn from your good buddies over in Europe how to take this nation over. And I say to you, we refuse to submit. And every person out there, you have the power to lead. You have the power to do what it takes to stand up for this country and stand up for the world. The United States of America that has stood up for hundreds of years against tyranny. And then I go and I read the textbooks. People send them to me up at the radio station, up at the TV station. And I open it up and what do I see? Things in the Texas McGrawder's government. Says the Second Amendment has nothing to do with the right to keep bear arms, and it's misunderstood widely. I hear about how bad America is. And you're right, America's not a perfect country. Look at every other nation in its history. But we're the best nation on the face of the earth because people were willing to stand up, put all their treasure, their family, everything on the line because they didn't like bullies and they wanted to control their destiny. Now, do you want control of your destiny, or do you want to be a slave on your feet with some leering bureaucrat over you telling you what you can do? The age of big government has just begun. It's far from over. And I will repeat the words of our founding father, the father of our country, George Washington. Firearms are the teeth and the strength of the Constitution. Without them, evil men and tyrants flourish. Criminals are cowards. That's why they fear you. And I heard the judge say earlier, there's more people here than fought and died at the Alamo. And look, the great bushfires in the minds of men that their noble sacrifice created. And all the revisionist historians can't stop that any more than they can degrade the Minutemen, the Paul Reveres, the people out there on the front line. And make no mistake, every single man, woman, and child of you are the Paul Reveres of the world. Now go out into the public and let the world know that you're not backing down. This is the final conflagration. Power is massing massively. Our banks have been taken over by foreign countries. Even Forbes magazine will tell you that. Our nation is in the midst of the Third World War, and it's economic, and it's being fought in your minds. Now get out there, the Paul Reveres of the world, and educate the public. Stand up against the tyrants. And please, stay with us for the senator, all the way down here from New Hampshire. Senator Smith, a guy when I'm flipping past C-SPAN, I always stop and watch. And I encouraged him, I know he's tired and works all the time, to get down there and do more of those 20-minute speeches, even though nobody's in there, because America's watching. We don't care what those sold-out pomps and servants think. We don't care, they're not there leering. We want that sacred house to be filled with good people like the senator from New Hampshire. And their license plate reads, live free or die. I'll take the words of Patrick Henry as I close. And I'll close on this. I know not what course you will take, but as for me, Give me liberty or give me death. Thank you.
I'm going to give y'all just a little bit of history of the NRA. In 1976, the decision had already been made to close down the NRA's Washington office, to quit the fight for your Second Amendment rights, move its headquarters to Colorado, and turn the organization into a sportsman's conservationist type of organization. One man
Senator Smith rolled out that bill and he was planning to introduce it, and it really upset some people.
Yeah, all the liberals.
It also it upset the Republican leadership. It upset the leadership of the Appropriation Committee. They didn't want to vote on it. Wayne LaPierre personally went to the senator, and I never confirmed that. I better keep my head ducked down. But Wayne asked him not to do it. And the senator did say this to me when I brought up this matter when I visited with him a couple of weeks or so ago. He said everybody did it with a clear heart, a pure heart. They were afraid that we would lose. And they didn't want a loss like that shoved down our throat. Well, the senator, nevertheless, because he is a courageous man, he went forward with his amendment. And it passed the Senate of the United States by veto-proof 69 to 31. Last week, this $500 billion budget bill, a huge thing, was signed by Bill Clinton after a lot of negotiation, and Senator Smith's excellent amendment was gutted. Gone was the thing that Bill Clinton personally griped about from the Rose Garden. The section that said that they could sue the FBI. He said, that's just awful. We can't have that. For merely violating your rights. You can't let the person sue. I'm ad-libbing. Clinton didn't go into all that, but he was complaining about the ability to sue, so that was gone. Then they said that, well, we'll cut this down to where they can't keep the records for more than 24 hours. FBI wanted it for 18 months. The senator said immediately, he said, we'll compromise it 24 hours. Any of you play with computers know that because of backups, once it's in that computer, it's there, friends. It's going to be there. So that was gone. The 24 hours limit also was gone. That was knocked out, finally. We went back to the original standards in the law, which says that they shall be destroyed. Now, they don't specifically say when to be destroyed. It's pretty obvious to somebody who's not a bureaucrat what shall be destroyed means, but they don't understand that. And so they're going to keep it for a while, then they're going to destroy it. Maybe when each of us whose name appears on there, along with our date of birth, when that shows up that we're 99 years of age, they'll destroy it. I don't know. The only thing left in there that of that amendment was that there shall not be a fee for this year. I stipulate and I underline that it shall not be a fee for this year, the first year, 1999 only. Because what they did, the leadership assigned a $42 million bump to the budget of the FBI to cover those costs.
This is in the, let me read this here. Go to, from the Federal Register online, it's Federal Register, July 2nd, 1997, Volume 62, number 127.
Federal Register.
July 2nd, 1997.
July 2nd, 1997.
Volume 62, number 127.
Volume 62, number 127.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I don't have that. I don't have that URL in front of me. But I imagine if you just
order number.
What's that?
The executive order number.
It just says pages. Yeah, it's the Federal Registry. I don't see here an executive order number, but it's in the Federal Registry, and it's page 35,887 to page 35,892. And I've read through it, and it clearly states it, not quite in layman terms, but there's no doubt as to where they're going with this thumb scanning.
Well, if you ever get a chance to put the website address up,
I imagine if you just go to one of your search engines and plug in Federal Register.
And ask for Federal Register.
Yeah, I guarantee you'll get to it rather quickly. Hey,
okay,
thanks for your call.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Next caller, go ahead. Caller, are you there? Nobody's there. Caller, go ahead.
Yeah, this is Jesse.
Hey, Jesse, how's it going?
Oh, pretty good.
Good.
I was out there at the thumb scan
Good.
protest and at the past two seminars, the past 2 months. And I completely agree with what you're saying. Everybody needs to get off the fence.
That's right.
And get the heck out
Pick
of
a
the way.
side.
Myself, I'm in this 100% now.
Good.
So you all probably see me pretty often.
Good. You know, the important thing is there too is let's get into this recruitment phase. Let's get to the point where we're getting all our friends out there, where we're getting our family out there. Hey, listen. You know, as far as the fear part goes, let me tell you why I have no fear in this. You know why? I'm not doing anything wrong.
Me neither. I'm just a concerned American who's standing up for the Constitution and what is right.
That is exactly it.
I'm tired of laying down. I'm tired of seeing these people just being duped.
Let me tell you something. If you want to be afraid, then you need to be the enemy, because they're the people that are afraid right now. If you don't think they're afraid, why are they stepping up their attacks? Why are they stepping up their propaganda? Why are they coming they are totally in your face right now with their propaganda. And why do you think they're doing that? Because they see it. They have fear. They smell us coming. They see us coming. They know we're there. They know it's happening. They see the beginning of the end. They're the ones that need to be afraid, not us. Hey, buddy, I ain't breaking the law. I'm the one obeying the Constitution here, the supreme law of the land. They're the ones that's violating the Constitution. They're the ones that's violating Texas state law, Alabama state law, all the state laws. They're the ones that need to be afraid, not me.
And all that. But yeah, I totally agree with you. And everybody just needs to wake up and get on the side of the righteous and stand up and quit laying down to all this.
Hey, I appreciate your call. For those of you just tuning in, you'll notice there, that is the surveillance van that was down at DPS, at the DPS thumb scanning protest. You can see there Mr. Jones in the foreground describing the van there. It's without a doubt, you know, it was very interesting. I got to tell you, I'm from Marble Falls, and there was a state trooper there from Marble Falls. I'd say there was about 30 to 35 state troopers there from all over the state. I think it's highly unusual that a state trooper would come all the way from Marble Falls just to help out at the DPS. I was just informed that there were witnesses that saw DPS officials, surveillance officials, get in that van to surveil us. I can tell you later on down at the APD booking center, they were just in our face about it. They did some filming, and I want to go into that a little bit right now. I attended the thumb scanning protest. I did so proudly. I was extremely pleased with the turnout, although I wished it had been 1,000 instead of 100. When I got to say something right here, and I've said it many, many times before, and I'll say it again and again and again. These state troopers in this matter, they performed exemplary. Their behavior was nothing but professional. They did things that I didn't agree with, but they performed those duties in an extremely professional manner. All of their actions, they seemed very well trained to me in the sense that it seemed as all of their actions were efforts to make sure that everything stayed calm and lawful and peaceful, which it started off and ended. It was a good old-fashioned civil disobedience protest. Martin Luther King would have been proud. Gandhi would have been proud. There was no shades of violence, no tone of anger. In fact, what I think was interesting was we're seeing a clip here now of me trying to speak to some APD police officers. I got to tell you, having said that DPS performed exemplarily and very professional, yes, there we're being surveilled openly, which, by the way, this week, I think by Wednesday, I'll have filed my open records request. I'm going to get a copy of that videotape. I'm also going to get a copy of the surveillance tapes inside the van. I'm going to try to get a copy of the dispatcher's radios. That gentleman that I'm speaking to there, is it, Mike, was it Dyert or Nyert? Dyert? Yeah. Okay, that's Officer Dyert. Dyert. Nyard. Well, spell it, maybe put a slate up for it. Anyways, that particular officer, he behaved in a most unprofessional manner, in Nyard, I'm being told, a most unprofessional manner. Quite the opposite of DPS. Instead of trying to keep the situation calm, lawful, and peaceful, he seemed to instigate at every opportunity. He seemed to provoke. He seemed, you'll notice, look at his body motion there. I mean, he's no small man by any stretch. Everything he did was provocative. You know, I'm not sure if it was him or, but I know that there were APD police officers, Mike will have to tell you about this, pushing him around, pushing Mike around in the restroom just inside those doors. Apparently they pushed him over towards the urinal and said, hey, do your thing. Mike said, well, I'd like to do so in private, and they said, no, if you're going to do it, we need to watch, or at least words to those effect. Again, I'm paraphrasing, I wasn't in there. Just very inflammatory. What bothered me about this was a couple things. Number one, I came upon, when I first arrived down at the municipal building, a female police officer, the information officer. She was speaking to someone on the telephone, and she had said that it had come across her police radios that the Republic of Texas was doing a demonstration down at the DPS building, and that the Republic of Texas was on their way down to the municipal building. Now, let me tell you something. I wasn't quite involved in the planning of this, but I'm friends with the people who were involved in the planning of the protest. There were, to my knowledge, no members of the Republic of Texas involved in the planning of this, and I'm pretty sure that there were no members of the Republic of Texas involved in the actual protest. Now, I don't know if this was a rumor that was started to cause a stir, to cause an increase in the number of police officers that were present, if it was just misinformation or what, but I can tell you this. APD seemed to feel like that they were dealing with a volatile situation, or a potentially volatile situation. When you take into account, and this is me being devil's advocate here, let's just say for a second it was a volatile situation, let's say it did have the potential to become violent, then that just hits home the point even more that these officers misbehaved, okay? At the very least, they may have broken some laws with regards to Mike Hansen. I don't know. That's being looked into. But I can tell you, if this was a volatile situation, if this was a potentially dangerous situation, as they thought, then their actions were horrible. I mean, even for a peaceful demonstration, for a nonviolent demonstration, they were provocative at every single opportunity. Never once did they try and back everything off. It was always in your face, provoking you, almost trying to get you to misbehave. And if it was a volatile situation, my God, who knows what could have trouble they could have caused. I just can't stress that enough. DPS, they were led by Sergeant Ard, which, by the way, I'm going to be trying to get Sergeant Ard to speak at the Downsized Government Conference. He was the arresting officer of Mr. Jones. I'm going to try and get him to speak. I think it'll be fantastic. In fact, I know I can get him. If anybody can do it, I can. I have a knack for this stuff. It wasn't easy getting Lieutenant back. I'm sure it won't be easy getting Ard, but I'll get him down there, and we can talk to him about it, and we can give him a show of applause and let him know how much we appreciate the professionalism of DPS. If you get a chance, I encourage you to write a letter, make a phone call, whatever. We're getting ready to roll a tape of the thumb scanning protest. Is that correct?
Cut it way down because of the time warner at the beginning.
Sure. This is a cut down tape of the thumb scanning protest because of the Time Warner problems at the beginning. Frank Cooksey, just a joke there. We're going to run that tape right now. Go ahead. Problems with, I'm kind of trapped in here in this studio. I don't know if these are problems with Access Television itself or if they're having problems there in the control room, but no matter. What you were starting to see is where things finally came to more or less a conclusion when Alex was arrested, placed into custody by Sergeant Ard. Let's keep in mind, there were approximately 75 to 100 people in a confined area. Sergeant Ard is responsible with, my understanding of it is anyway, with running that DPS office. There was no business being done as a result of all these people standing there. He was put into a position where he did have to take responsibility for his office and see to that it could take care of its business. Now, what I alluded earlier, there were some things I disagreed with.
It's fixed. Let's go.
Oh, it's fixed? They're going to try and run the tape again. Let's take a look. That's Sergeant Ard right there, by the way.
I have brought the documents, 8 forms of identification. They refuse to give me a driver's license.
Here's the deal.
Give me a driver's license.
Sir, I am not going to give you a driver's license today. I will do what I can to help you. If you do not leave now, I will be forced to arrest you.
Sir, I'm here to get a driver's license. I have never had a criminal record. It's time to go. Here I go. Get my stuff for me.
45 patients.
Now everybody goes outside and they do the old bait and switch. Had a bus and a bunch more on one side of the building, and then they actually came out the other side of the building, but we had the whole building surrounded, so we actually got me being taken out on footage. This is about the end of it. And then we'll go down to the jail and show you some footage of how the APD behaved. They didn't act as professionally as the troopers.
Who's first? Yeah, I got him to say just oh, yeah. They're going to arrest all of us.
I just want to thank Jeff Davis and Mike Hansen for giving me the opportunity to speak here tonight. I'm going to hand over the microphone here in a little bit to Mr. Alex Jones. I want to encourage everybody again, we are in full recruitment mode. You need to call 512-703-6767. It's time to pick sides. I can't tell if you're my enemy or my friend. It's time to pick sides so I can tell either way, so I can tell how it's going to go. Let's get busy, get on this, get moving, call that number.
Back to you.
Criminal, look at all this. All right. Where are they taking you? Are you Jimmy? Yes, sir. Got my identification?
There you go. Let him 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 go. A quick interview! Right on the window! Yell it! Yell it! This is the only time traffic's good. Because he's diverting. All right, I wasn't going to come on here tonight, but this documentary is so powerful. Tomorrow night, right now I only have an hour-and-a-half show tomorrow night because of some kind of glitch. It's from 8:30 to 10, but I think I'm going to get my other hour back at some kind of glitch or problem. We'll take care of that, and this is about an hour and 45 minutes long. It's called The New World Order, but it's despite the name that's comical, it is very, very hardcore. It is unbelievable. So tomorrow night, The New World Order will be live tomorrow night on Channel 10 at 8:30 p.m. on Exposing Corruption with myself. Now, I'll just be there to introduce it and to hype it up for about 15 minutes, and if I only have an hour and a half tomorrow, I'm going to go straight on and play it, because I won't be able to get the whole thing in, and we'll have to finish it the next week. But I should be on from 8:30 to 11 tomorrow, my regular time. But I'm serious. You want to see documentation, you want to see facts, you want to see congressmen and people talking about the CIA drug running, the government blowing up the Oklahoma City building. Anthony Hilger just comes right out and says it. You want to hear about the government trying to create race wars? You want to hear about all this information. It runs the gamut. Our government handing over the Panama Canal to the Rockefellers, not to Panama. No, they controlled the government then. They installed it. It's all documented, and now they're turning it over to the Chinese, who they control. So you want to see a documentary that is excellent. Set your VCR tomorrow at 8:30 p.m., Channel 10. Tell your friends to watch. I'm telling you, depending on how much time I have tomorrow night, my show's being cut short an hour or something, but I think they're going to fix it. They say they're going to fix it, and I believe they will. I should be on tomorrow and be able to show you the entire thing and give you some commentary. But right before the show tomorrow night, if I do not have the time to run the whole thing, I'm coming on, and I'm saying, all right, set your VCRs, get ready, we're fixing to play it, and I won't be back. So I'm serious, ladies and gentlemen. You need to watch this documentary tomorrow, The New World Order. They would have called it The New World Order, but that has already been copyrighted. So this is very, very, very serious. You need to watch this documentary. In fact, can we get a close shot on camera one? I don't know if we can do that in here in a few minutes. We'll get a close shot of this. I mean, this is just incredible what's going on, and it's incredible how well this is documented and how it goes from A to B, from the past to the future, and it's all done in about an hour and 46 minutes. So there you have it. We'll get to it in just a second. And guys, let me tell you something about these programs. We get down here out of the goodness of our hearts, and I'm not sitting there bragging on us, but we go through a lot of trouble for this. It's not the petty fame or any of that other BS. It is really because it's sick to see bullies abusing people and to see people being conned by it. And by the way, just because Clinton's on the cover of this, most of the documentary is bashing George Bush, the son of Prescott Bush and the father of our governor. So you'll definitely want to tune in tomorrow. It's very balanced. It shows you that both parties are fully controlled, that congressmen that do stand up are killed. It documents it. I mean, you're not going to believe this. The reason the enemy is in so much trouble is because there are so many people standing up. That's why the enemy is tightening its grip. And I'm sure you all heard today, Clinton just signed an executive order banning importation of assault rifles. 3 weeks ago, Secretary of Defense William Cohen created 10 regional FEMA teams, I thought they were floods, to work with local law enforcement through the Defense Department. It's the military. They're building concentration camps known as FEMA detention centers, and as soon as I can get away, I'm finally editing the UN documentary. To tell you the truth, I screwed around on it, had some trouble doing it. I've hired somebody to help me do it because I want to do a professional job. I'm working on that right now. As soon as I'm done with that, you're going to have FEMA detention center footage. If I have to fly an airplane over it. Of course, if the plane crashes, it will be a conspiracy. But seriously, you're going to have a lot of information coming up the next few weeks on this channel, on Channel 10 Monday nights, on Channel 10 Tuesday nights. There are a lot of people working hard. Jeff Davis has got his thumb scanning his IRS protest coming up. So there's a lot going on. Let's go ahead and take some phone calls. Hello, caller, you're on the air. How you doing this evening?
How you doing, Alex?
Yeah, they have to turn the phone up. We got a new crew in here tonight. Go ahead.
Hey, Alex.
Oh, turn up the monitor.
Oh, the monitor's turned completely down. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Hello, I can hear you now.
Hello?
Yes.
How you doing, Alex?
Pretty good. It's pretty pandemonium down here, I tell you. Mike Hanson's high energy.
Yeah.
Running around in circles.
This is Mike Moore.
How you doing, Mike?
Oh, pretty good. I just had a quote here from Edmund Burke that I wanted to share with everybody that's watching. And it says, and I quote, "When bad men combine, the good must associate, else they will fall one by one, an unpitied sacrifice and a contemptible struggle." Now, that right there tells you and stuff that everybody that's sitting on the fence needs to get up and do what they can. You know, it would be so easy and stuff for them to sit around and say there's nothing wrong and stuff, and then when they hear that knock on the door, and the door comes flying off the hinges, and they get arrested and taken off to the FEMA detention centers.
Well, that's a key point. That's a key point. A lot of people say that's a reason not to get involved. I tell you, it will be an honor to get to die for America. I had forefathers that went to war and faced machine gun fire from enemy posts and artillery shells.
Absolutely.
I mean, how can I not stand up when my own country's being overrun by foreign institutions of finance? And you know, I heard something on a radio show that if you talk about finance and the Federal Reserve, you're anti-Semitic. I have Jewish friends, and I am sick and tired of this garbage. Sure, there are a lot of top bankers that are Jewish in the world, but there are a lot of other people that aren't. It's nothing to do with white or black or this or that. It's right and wrong, and I'm telling you right now, the federal government does not print the money. Private banks, the Federal Reserve print it. And tomorrow night, if I have time, if I have my normal 2.5-hour show, I'm going to play you clips off Access TV from the local IRS producing a documentary this year to counter our IRS programs. They even said that. And I'm going to show you the actual footage on there where they say the checks are deposited in the Federal Reserve banks.
Yep, it's a fact, Alex.
It is just incredible. Everything is a lie. We're obsessed with Coach Penders and Coach Mack and all the rest of this garbage. People think that they're rich when they make $100,000 a year. They think because they got a few people to boss around at work that they're something. They think they're on the capstone of power. It's a fight between new money and old money. If we can just rally the new money and rally the poor people that are being abused and dumbed down and that growing class of poor and the middle class against the real enemy, the criminal establishment rich, we're going to kick their asses. Well, listen, I appreciate your call. Next caller.
Hello.
Yes.
This is Recon.
Hey, Recon.
What do you say, brother?
Nothing much. I've just been running around like a chicken with my head cut off.
There you go.
I've been working on stuff with this, meetings and radio stuff and documentary filmmaking and Access TV, and then I'm going to be on Bad Bob's show tonight at 11, Channel 16. It's just on and on.
Yeah, listen, Steve had a caller who was talking about, he was showing his fear about not being able to do anything. And,
well, I guarantee you if he keeps that attitude, he won't be able to do anything.
That's right.
There's a lot of mornings I don't want to get out of bed, but I have to.
Right. The point is, I guess I'll turn this TV down. The point is, when you do something, you get them very nervous, and I'll give you the latest example. Since the DPS protest, I know of 3 gentlemen who were there, and they've had plain white rappers come to their homes, photograph their automobiles.
You're talking about white sedans,
Right.
yes. A man named Ken, and I know Ken. I've done some business with Ken. I know him personally. I know where he lives. I know what he's describing. He lives at the end of a cul-de-sac in Westlake Hills.
Right.
He owns a computer.
Another young fellow that had a chopper over his home,
And Saturday night at 12:15 and 12:45, I had a big black one over my home. The only reason I spotted him, because I did hear him, I ran outside. I wish I'd have had my damn camera in my hand, but he had no lights on. The only reason I could see him was because of the moonlight.
Recon, I've got to go to a film clip. I know what you're talking about. I appreciate the call, brother.
We're making them scared.
That's right. Recon, thanks for the call. Okay, guys, in about a minute and a half, can't take any more calls. We're going to go to just the very first minute and a half, 2 minutes of the New World Odor that'll be on tomorrow night at 8:30, Channel 10, if I'm on the air, and you should tune in. Now, listen. Anybody that doubts what Robert just said, nickname Recon, Vietnam vet, business owner, good guy, anybody that doubts him, I know him personally, I was followed by one of these helicopters, and it's made me more radical. When I left my radio show 4.5 weeks ago, had the spotlight around me for about 3 miles. This is not a joke. Last Sundays, not this Sunday, but last Sundays, the April 28th, admitted that black helicopters are from CIA bases across the country, but that it's not a big deal, and that they do blow buildings up at their bases, and they do have camps with barbed wire, and they do practice blowing things up. Now, that was on A28, and last Sunday was April 28th, wasn't it?
I think so.
Yes, so it was A28, April 28th, last Sunday. Get off your butt, dig it out of your recycling bin, or go see it. I played your Lair News Hour, I played it all. They're building concentration camps, they're building bases, they're harassing people, they're putting cameras on us. That wasn't surveillance van. Oh yeah, back this up real fast. Back this up a little bit, because I want to start it right. Back it up to the start, and we'll start it. I want to thank everybody for being here. This is the first few minutes. Thanks for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.
Some of our children simply don't have what they need to grow and learn in their own homes or schools or neighborhoods. And that means the rest of us must do more, for they are our children too. Citizen service is an American responsibility which all Americans should embrace, and I ask your support for that endeavor. I'd like to make just one last point about our national community. We must pursue a deeper dialogue with China.
Benito Mussolini!
With China.
Benito Mussolini!
China.
Benito Mussolini!
And I have invited China's president to come here, not because we agree on everything, but because engaging China is the best way to work on our common challenges and to deal frankly with our fundamental differences like human rights. Institutions like the World Bank and to a reforming United Nations. It is an idea, the most powerful idea in the history of nations. And all of us in this chamber, we are now the bearers of that idea, leading a great people into a new world.
That's what you'll see tomorrow night. Now, that's just the intro. They have documents, they have facts, they have information, they weave it together. It's not just Clinton. They're just showing you the parallels. This man is taking the guns away. And I hate to even do this, but I have to illustrate it. There's a very famous T-shirt or a poster. Everyone for gun control, raise your right hand. Stalin was for it. Hitler was for it. They're all for it. And that's what we're talking about.
Well, hello, folks, and stay tuned for more classics here on Mike Hansen Archives and our new channel, Waco Archives. And don't forget our oldest channel, Mike Hansen Archives, here on YouTube. Stay tuned for more, but make sure y'all get everybody to subscribe to Hansen Archives and the new one, Waco Archives. We're busy every day uploading more and more videos. We have hired somebody to do that and bought the equipment to do it. It's a lot of work. If you would like to help out with that situation, send us $25 and I will send you my book, and everything that comes in from my book will be used to fund these 3 channels. So stay tuned right here to YouTube and Facebook. I am Mike Hansen from Gonzales, Texas on Facebook. Thanks a lot and God bless. Right here for more classics on this channel here, Hansen Archives. But to fund this station, I'm offering, if you send us $25, we'll send you a signed copy of Bohemia Grove Cult of Conspiracy. It was forwarded by Tex Mars that just recently passed away. Also, Alex Jones has a chapter in here. And you know that's good. There's us in our younger days. But on the address that you see, send us $25 and we will send you a signed copy, or give us a call at 830-672-3089 and you can put it on a credit card. We'll send it right out. But that's what we need to help fund this channel, folks. So help us get all the classics uploaded to YouTube. We got hundreds and hundreds of old Alex Jones and Jeff Davis and a bunch of other patriots that we need to upload. About 25-year-old tapes.
Come on, anybody want to come up here? All right, that's it. All right, who wants to lead? Let Gene go. Go ahead. Yes, sir. Here's
all right. God bless the Republic. Death to the New World